After Yang Wu first leapt through the seventh level, he never returned to the heavenly bridge. Few people had seen him again, but no one forgot him. His record on the bridge's seventh level still stood unbroken, even now that Luo Feng had tried. On a night in the fifth year, Yang Wu opened his eyes. My main body and the World Tree clone have finally reached the peak of universe rank, he murmured, narrowing his eyes. The long-awaited advancement mission is about to trigger. His World Tree clone was different from Luo Feng's golden-horned beast copy. Its growth was not limited by Yang Wu's main body. Even if the clone climbed into Territory Lord rank, it would not interfere with Yang Wu's own advancement mission. Clone and main body physical qualities have reached the limit that the current life level can withstand. You have triggered an advancement mission. Life Leap. Mission description. Life Leap is a transformation of life itself. This transformation is far more significant than any previous breakthrough. Strength reference in progress. Reference complete. Mission generated. Optional Mission 1, Self-Breakthrough. Mission completion reward, none. Optional Mission 2, conquer the 13th level of the Heavenly Bridge and forge an extraordinary Territory Lord body with transcendent limits. Mission completion reward, basic life gene level, increased to 100 times that of an ordinary person. Either optional mission would count as completing the life leap. The advancement mission for universe rank required passing the 13th level of the Heavenly Bridge. Historically, geniuses who appeared once every 10 million eras could pass the universe rank original Tongqin Mountain, and understanding the 12th level of the bridge was nearly essential to clear it. But Yang Wu knew the World Tree clone's talent far outstripped those once in 10 million era geniuses. The clone had little trouble reaching the 13th level. If needed, Yang Wu could always find a shortcut. In short, the mission itself was troublesome, not impossible. What bothered him more was what lay beyond Territory Lord rank, what challenges and opportunities awaited in Universe rank. He had already planned his path at Universe rank, Demon Mountain. For a clone like the World Tree, whose greatest affinity lay towards psychic mastery rather than straightforward martial force, honing soul amplitude or mental force amplitude was crucial. He did not know of any place better suited than Demon Mountain for that refinement, so he wanted the clone to go there before finalizing the life leap. Time moved on. Over the next 5 years, the World Tree clone continued to absorb endless nutrient solutions and energies. It had reached the peak of universe rank 5 years earlier. Now, it finally completed the leap. Rumbling filled the clone's inner cosmos. The central black hole and 8 smaller holes along its spiral arm began to ravenously devour nearby power. Surrounding stars were swallowed one by one. The central maw grew larger, its hunger pulling the 8 smaller black holes inward until they, too, were subsumed. Devour. Everything that could be swallowed vanished into that center. The spiral galaxy dissolved until only one supermassive black hole remained. Then, with a thunderous collapse, the supermassive black hole imploded. The entire region shrank at an alarming rate until the black hole itself disappeared, leaving in its place a tiny, green singularity, a point whose size could no longer be measured. The green sphere seemed to shed an outer shell like a snake peeling its skin. A fragile green husk slipped away and then, impossibly, kept expanding, one layer after another, until the spherical shell swelled to the size of the vanished supermassive black hole. The shell merged silently back into the singularity. The very core of the clone underwent an unprecedented transformation. At that moment, the World Tree unfurled like a tongtian, its branches spreading outward. The trunk began to change dramatically. Pale green airflow materialized out of nothing and wrapped around the tree's surface. The tree absorbed it, and leaves, branches, and trunk swelled visibly. The main trunk thickened and lengthened. Each section of the body grew denser. Branches and foliage ballooned in proportion. Where there had been a clone, now stood an enormous arboreal life form. When the metamorphosis ended, the World Tree towered 600,000 kilometers in height, dozens, even nearly 100 times Earth's diameter. Its trunk measured roughly 120,000 kilometers across, and its crown spread so vast its diameter exceeded 1 million kilometers. Even at Territory Lord rank first stage, its mass was already terrifying. In size and volume, it truly lived up to the reputation of the universe's foremost tree-type special life. The changes went deeper than appearance. Every cell, every strand of original force and mental force, reshaped at a foundational level. The clone's leap from universe rank to territory lord rank was not merely a numerical upgrade, it was a qualitative transformation of physical makeup. Though not as miraculous as shifts in Yang Wu's main body, the clone's advancement was nonetheless awe-inspiring. Territory lord rank? Yang Wu's eyes gleamed. He realized why territory lords were so rare among sold slaves. From universe rank to territory lord rank, entire galaxies were consumed by the black hole. The resulting singularity, this tiny, unimaginably dense point, carried within it the seed of a world. That seed's slow gestation would span the full progression from territory lord first stage to ninth stage. As the singularity conceived and matured, the world tree clone would undergo fundamental changes. If the conception completed successfully, the clone would ascend to world lord, and the conceived inner world would crystallize into a true, self-contained world. A world lord could wield world power effortlessly. His inner world could host people and creatures, store items, and function as a living realm, real, usable, and vast. Yang Wu watched the colossal tree and the nascent singularity with a mixture of satisfaction and calculation. The clone had become his immediate, overwhelming strength, a territory lord body with life gene levels amplified thousands of times. But more than that, it had opened a path, the slow birth of an inner world and a future beyond territory lord, toward true world lorddom. Apart from discussing the Tao with Luo Feng, Yang Wu's true body spent most of his time sitting cross-legged on the rooftop. Occasionally, he would lift his head to study the crystalline fissures in the chaotic sky and the circulating secret patterns of the golden origin law. That profound sense of the primal universe washed over him like a heady draught. He had been working on the time-space blade before, but now, like the tens of thousands of universe-rank powerhouses in primordial Chaos City, he had settled into a quieter mode of cultivation and comprehension. The Chaos True Spirit had indeed been a tremendous aid to the soul, but its effect waned with time, like a medicine whose potency diminishes the longer one takes it. After the World Tree clone reached Territory Lord rank, Yang Wu sent it to hunt another wave of Chaos Beasts. At first, the Chaos True Spirit continued to refine the clone's soul, but as the transformation progressed, its impact fell off sharply until the improvements became almost imperceptible. That was only natural. If the Chaos True Spirit could endlessly perfect a soul, then a reliance on it alone would be enough to make a soul undying. And such a thing did not exist in this world. Having realized this, Yang Wu used his privileges to apply for 20,000 portions of Territory Lord and World Lord nutrient fluid. With that supply, he no longer had to worry about the World Tree clone's growth. While it soaked in the nutrient fluid, the clone quietly began its own comprehension of the Tao. Time crawled and then leapt forward. None of the geniuses here relaxed. Especially with Yang Wu looming as the terrifying standard to match, everyone redoubled their efforts. In the 13th year after arriving in primordial Chaos City, Rongjun cleared the 3rd level of the Heavenly Bridge. In the 15th year, Luo Feng passed the 6th level, an astonishing speed made possible, in part, because he had become Zhan Yanking's disciple. Zhan Yanking, true to the original account, poured tremendous resources into his pupil. Luo Feng actually reached the 6th level of the Heavenly Bridge. You know Bolin is only at the 4th. He's almost one step behind Yang Wu. Didn't he just clear the 5th level 10 years ago? How did he progress so fast? The name Luo Feng echoed through the ranks as countless geniuses muttered in disbelief. Yang Wu's talent had long been acknowledged. Someone of his caliber could reasonably be expected to reach the 7th level. But Luo Feng was not thought to be in the same league, so many could not understand how he had advanced so quickly. Most expected it would take Luo Feng at least 100 years to hit the 6th level, yet he had done it in 10. The key, of course, was a string of blessings, the Chaos Tablet, the time-space notes, the primal universe, and so on. Aside from Yang Wu, Luo Feng's name had become the most resounding in primordial Chaos City. One must remember that most universe-rank elders who had cultivated for tens of thousands of years in the Taichu District's secret realm were stuck at the 6th level. Only the comparatively exceptional reached the 7th. Luo Feng's current strength already surpassed the vast majority of those senior figures. Even Zhan Yan King fell silent. In the 19th year, Bolin finally reached the 5th level, still some distance behind Luo Feng. In the 21st year, Uka reached the 3rd level. In the 25th year, Long Yun and Galaxy cleared the 3rd. In the 28th year, Qian Shui and Ai Chen did the same. In the blink of an eye, Yang Wu's 30th year in Primordial Chaos City drew near, the last year of his allotted time. In the Thousand Treasure River territory, within the grandest palace, the Primordial Chaos City Lord stood on the top floor and leaned on the railing, eyes sweeping over everything within his domain. Naturally, he could see Yang Wu's spot. He wouldn't be so confident as to attempt the 9th level of the Illusion Sea, would he? The City Lord wondered, increasingly puzzled. Why the delay? Within Primordial Chaos City, Yang Wu was making the most significant headway in comprehending the origin laws. Yes, the essence of the time-space origin laws is exactly like this. Yang Wu, who had been sitting quietly, opened his eyes and a look of elation flashed across his face. The first 3 diagrams of the Universe Chaos Tablet were a detailed analysis of the time-space origin laws. The 3rd diagram broke down the full set of mysteries, all 108 profound secrets that composed the space origin law, and all 108 that composed the time origin law. For ordinary powerhouses, understanding those 108 elements was already a major achievement, like answering everything on a test and getting a full score. Such comprehension corresponded roughly to the 9th level of the Heavenly Bridge. At that point, most cultivators would continue into the 4th diagram, but the 4th diagram did something else. It revealed the essence of the origin laws. That was more than a perfect score. It was like answering all the bonus questions as well, 150 points instead of 100. Seemingly a small step, but the difficulty multiplied tenfold, even 100-fold, because grasping the essence required an extraordinarily high level of insight. And yet, to Yang Wu, mastering that essence magnified the power of the secret method he cast, bringing it up to the equivalent of the 12th level of the Heavenly Bridge. I remember Lian Luo in the original account needed 3,000 years just to grasp the 108 essences. He could probably be compared to Bolin, Yang Wu thought, smiling. But to comprehend the 108 time essences and 108 space essences within 30 years in Primordial Chaos City, that's something. 30 years had passed in a flash. Yang Wu felt a quiet joy. He was already much stronger than when he had arrived. No wonder Lian Luo had said that once those 108 essences were comprehended, the path to cultivating the 4th, 5th, and 6th diagrams became certain. The diagrams remained incredibly complex, but in essence, they were merely integrations of the 216 fundamental elements. Those 216 essences were like ingredients. Countless dishes could be composed from them. Having mastered each ingredient, one could more intelligently prepare the higher recipes. When Yang Wu turned to the 4th, 5th, and 6th diagrams, he would not be like ordinary cultivators blindly studying. He would start from essence and integration. The difficulty of diagrams 4 through 6 does increase, but at worst, they'll take some time. For me, there's no real bottleneck, Yang Wu thought, confident. He also had the World Tree clone. With his terrifying talent for time and space, and having already grasped the essence, it might even be easy for him to become a venerable. Yet, in the original account, the World Tree remained a venerable only after hundreds of millions of eras, proof that it had been stuck at the fusion of the time and space laws. Fusing the time-space origin laws was tens of thousands of times harder than comprehending them. Yang Wu's main body had already reached the peak of universe rank. His World Tree clone, by his estimate, still needed several decades to become a world lord. That wasn't a problem. He wasn't in a hurry. In Primordial Chaos City, the greatest strides in comprehending the cosmic origin laws are made, Yang Wu murmured, feeling the weight of those years. 27 sessions before the 9-universe Chaos Steel, combined with the guidance of King-level Invincible Harrison and Nine-Sword Exalt, and the insights from the secret methods Fallen Blood, Blood Drop, and Chaos Diagram, those things had pushed him forward. Dissecting the origin laws was hardest at the start, but after accumulating experience and receiving instruction, progress became far more efficient. In 30 years, he had fully grasped the essence of the time-space blade. Another gain, mind vast and boundless, has evolved. It's broken through to the true third stage of the mind infinite, mind embracing all. He had Hong's mental foundation. In primordial Chaos City, he was unrivaled among his peers. His comprehension ability matched Hong's, so his state of mind advancing to the true third stage was unsurprising. The opportunities to study the Chaos Tablet were nearly exhausted, and he would be leaving primordial Chaos City in a little over 10 days. Before he left, he had to challenge the Heavenly Bridge again. He needed to at least pass the 12th level to gain 5 extra comprehension chances. Not that he couldn't push farther. If he wanted, Yang Wu could probably clear the 13th level. But he needed to raise the World Tree's power. The World Tree would be his primary combat clone through the World Lord and Undying stages. It had to be strong. Cosmic level original Tongtian Mountain and Illusion Sea. Finish them both in one go, he resolved, eyes hardening. A gigantic fish-shaped starship cut through the unstable passages of primordial Chaos City in the primal universe. Inside the hull were undying powerhouses and other exalted figures. Reporting to Exalt, of the top 1,000 chosen in this talent war, 817 remain, Long Yu King said, bowing. Among them, the most outstanding is Yang Wu, he continued. Yang Wu has reached the 7th level of the Heavenly Bridge, though that is only his initial breakthrough. Next is Luo Feng. He'd passed the 6th level, and then there's Bolin at the 5th level. Wait, Luo Feng has just advanced to the 7th level, now catching up to Yang Wu's initial mark. Below them is Rong Jun at the 4th level. 5 others reach the 3rd level. It can be said that aside from Yang Wu, universally acknowledged as first, the most shocking dark horse is Luo Feng. He cleared the 3rd level in his first year in primordial Chaos City, already far ahead of everyone else at the time, with only the once-in-10,000 epochs talent, Bolin, being remotely close. Ninesword Exalt listened from his throne, a faint smile crossing his face. If I recall correctly, both he and Yang Wu are from Earth, he said. To have 2 peerless geniuses from the same planet in the same era, one the kind who appears once every 10 million epochs, the other appearing every tens of thousands of epochs, that is unprecedented. Even planets with first-class lineages rarely produce such a pair. In the previous talent war, 1,000 were chosen from 1,008 cosmic countries, nearly 1 per country, a small probability. Yang Wu's level of talent, so rare he could be said to appear once every 10 million epochs, would normally be a 1 in 1,000 chance across all countries. For such a being to arise on Earth was remarkable. For Luo Feng, another super genius, to appear on the same planet at the same time was abnormal. Still, Ninesword Exalt said, shaking his head slightly, that's not for me to fuss over. Let the higher-ups worry. The ship surged forward. Ninesword Exalt and the Undying Escort had come to retrieve Yang Wu and the rest of the chosen geniuses back to the 4 secret realms. In primordial Chaos City, strange currents swirled. Yang Wu sat cross-legged on the rooftop of his cultivation residence. From other roofs came the same sight, dozens, then hundreds, of cultivators seated or standing, eyes closed, tracing the gear-like interlocking patterns of the origin laws in the sky as they meditated. Yang Wu appeared to be cultivating on the golden origin law, but a portion of his consciousness had split off into the virtual universe network's training grounds. There he ran repeated simulated drills, integrating the insights of nearly 30 years and refining how to wield the time-space blade to its utmost. This final period of cultivation and synthesis mattered as much as raw comprehension. Being able to apply those insights was crucial. Suddenly, Yang Wu opened his eyes. A voice echoed directly into the minds of every genius. Come see me immediately. Come see me immediately. Come see me immediately. The summons repeated, urgent and absolute. Yang Wu stopped cultivating and shot skyward. All across primordial Chaos City, more than 800 figures sprang up, heading in the same direction. Above the city, the dark blue fish-shaped ship loomed, nearly 1,000 meters long, its massive tail fins swaying through the chaos. The belly hatch opened with a click, and over a dozen figures emerged, led by Ninesword Exalt in a cyan battle robe. Yang Wu and the 817 geniuses gathered with the Undying under Ninesword Exalt's command, hovering in the air. When Ninesword Exalt snorted low, the sound struck like a heavy hammer on every heart. Even with his mind at the third stage, Yang Wu felt the oppressive force of the Exalt's will. The others were even more shaken. The Undying themselves bowed their heads, unwilling to meet his gaze. "That's terrifying," Luo Feng breathed, sweat leaking from his brow. He stared at Ninesword Exalt in disbelief. "I didn't expect the Exalt's aura to be so overwhelming." The first time Luo Feng had met Ninesword Exalt in the virtual universe, the pressure hadn't been nearly as strong. Perhaps in the virtual universe network, he only projected a fraction of his Exalt-level consciousness, Luo Feng thought, gulping air. Last time he seemed to hold back. "I didn't expect that even a slight release." He could not finish the sentence. He only felt his chest tighten and his breath catch as Ninesword Exalt's presence pressed down upon them all. "Primordial Chaos City is the safest place we could arrange for you," the Ninesword Exalt said, his expression severe. "And yet nearly 20% of the 1,000 you started with have died. I am disappointed. But there are also many outstanding talents among you. For example, Luo Feng, your progress has exceeded everyone's expectations. You're already at the 7th level of the Heavenly Bridge. You still have 10 days left here. When you leave Primordial Chaos City, you won't be as safe as you are now. If nearly 20% of you can die in a place as secure as this, then once you return to the original universe and enter the secret realms, I'm afraid that in 100 years' time, only 500 of you may remain. Don't waste time worrying. You have 10 days left. If you want to challenge the Heavenly Bridge, do it. If you want to study the Chaos Tablet, hurry. Once you leave Primordial Chaos City this time, coming back will be a very, very long time from now." He waved his hand. "All of you, go." "Yes," a chorus of geniuses and Undying responded respectfully. Then one by one, they flew off in different directions across the city. After the announcement that Luo Feng had just passed the 7th level of the Heavenly Bridge, several acquaintances immediately surrounded him. "Luo Feng, you brat, quietly passing the 7th without saying a word? That's too much," said Uka, the Monka Star Prince, sounding half amused and half exasperated. He'd been taken as a disciple by the Exalt, but had only just reached the 4th level himself. "It's all thanks to Brother Yang's guidance. I happened to choose the right path and had an epiphany," Luo Feng said with a laugh. "If you find the right path, your progress won't be any slower." "You show off." Uka punched Luo Feng in the chest, grinning. Rongjun laughed along, while Bolin, dressed in white, sat apart with a much grimmer look than usual. He seemed more discouraged than before. "Yangwu, Luo Feng." Bolin glanced at Luo Feng and sighed inwardly. "Even you've overtaken me?" Bolin's talent for spatial comprehension was terrifying. Although his official ranking put him at the 5th level of the Heavenly Bridge, that didn't mean his grasp of space origin law was weak. It was his comprehension of time origin law that held him back. In fact, his space origin law was close to the threshold for the 7th level. Yet Luo Feng had reached the 7th level outright. Simultaneously, cultivating time and space origin laws, perhaps only an outlier like Yang Wu could do that. "Have I been wrong?" Bolin thought. He remembered the advice of his Marquis-level immortal teacher and several Virtual Universe Corporation dignitaries, and he found his certainty shaken. Under the quiet influence of Yang Wu's growth, many paths had already shifted. "This Primordial Chaos City is truly exceptional," the Monka Star youth said with a small smile, then grew serious. "It's a pity we have to leave. It's perfect. Clarity of law comprehension, the resources. Everything is top-notch," Luo Feng agreed. "Outside, we'll lose this edge. We won't be able to cultivate so freely." "But that's all external," Rongjun said, shaking his head. "The 4 secret realms will be where we live long-term. Ultimately, what we achieve still depends on ourselves." "Brother Yang," Luo Feng asked curiously, "you've been cultivating non-stop in recent years besides discussing the Tao. What level have your law comprehensions reached now?" Rongjun and Uka were equally interested. They both regarded Yang Wu and Luo Feng as rivals, so they followed any sign of strength closely. All three were serious, more curious than anything. After 30 years of cultivation in Primordial Chaos City, what had Yang Wu, the #1 talent in the talent war, actually reached. Under their scrutiny, Yang Wu only chuckled. I should be able to challenge the cosmic level Yuanxi Tongqian Mountain now. The Yuanxi Tongqian Mountain? Luo Feng frowned. He didn't have high enough authority to find information on that test and was unfamiliar with it. Rongjun's face went pale, his eyes widening. Uka nearly spat out the wine he was drinking. The two of them clearly understood what Yang Wu had announced. The 3 Yuanxi Tongtian Mountains. Core members could challenge them at any time. Passing one would grant immediate entry into the primordial mystical region. It sounded glorious, but the difficulty was astronomical, like the 7 trial towers in Yang Wu's talent war, an almost impossible benchmark. To clear even the universe-ranked Tongqian Mountain required at least a 12th level Heavenly Bridge comprehension, far beyond Luo Feng's newly achieved 7th level. And yet Yang Wu claimed he could pass the cosmic level Yuanxi Tongqian Mountain. After 30 years in Primordial Chaos City, he had raised his comprehension of time and space origin laws to roughly the 12th level. The pace was staggering. You can pass the Yuanxi Tongqian Mountain? Yuka forced his voice steady, but it trembled. Even Rongjun, usually composed, looked stunned as if his pulse had paused. All 3 of them were top 10 talent war elites, geniuses in every sense, but now even Luo Feng seemed far behind Yang Wu. You're crazy, Yang Wu, Rongjun said, disbelief etched on his face. They'd been amazed by Yang Wu when he first entered Primordial Chaos City, but this level of advancement defied reason. Luo Feng's progress was also strange. Together, their rapid growth left everyone bewildered. On the beautiful island at the center of the virtual universe Tongtan Bridge, Divine Plane, figures began to appear one after another. There are a lot of people, Luo Feng said, immediately noticing more than 20 young cultivators already gathered on the island. Whoosh, one genius after another materialized. Clearly the remaining 800-plus survivors all wanted to challenge the Heavenly Bridge one last time before leaving Primordial Chaos City. Then the island fell silent. Yang Wu! It's Yang Wu! Is he going to challenge the Heavenly Bridge again? P.S. Monthly ticket for extra update. Dozens of geniuses turned their heads at once, and Luo Feng and Bolin followed suit. On a distant island, a young man stood, expression calm and unreadable, all eyes fixed on Yang Wu. They had heard he'd become the registered disciple of the Primordial Chaos City Lord, and envy flared in many hearts. But what startled them more than his title was his unfathomable strength. 30 years ago, Yang Wu had cleared the 7th level of the Heavenly Bridge with overwhelming force, an achievement still vivid in everyone's memory. After 3 decades of cultivation, they could hardly believe he hadn't advanced further. Yang Wu's gaze was deep and enigmatic. He carried himself with a natural ease, as if his mind had expanded to contain everything. Nothing could ruffle him now. Yang Wu, long time no see, Guardian Boffin said with a slight smile. You cleared the 7th level of the Heavenly Bridge long ago. You haven't been back since, have you? 30 years in the blink of an eye. Now you come to challenge it again. I know you, another voice teased. You always love to make a scene. What are you going to do this time? Are you going to skip straight to the 9th level, or even aim for the checkpoint at the 10th? Among the senior geniuses, many Territory Lord rank cultivators had barely cleared the 10th level. Universe rank members of the primordial mystical region were rarer still. Yang Wu had only had a few decades of intense cultivation since his last appearance. How could he possibly be so extraordinary? Maybe I'll surprise you, Yang Wu replied with a chuckle. Oh? Guardian Baffin's eyebrows rose. I'm looking forward to it. The Universe Tongqin Bridge is empty right now. But Yang Wu, you and Bolin are both Universe faction. There's only one Universe Tongtian Bridge. Decide who goes first. Bolin simply shook his head. He did not come expecting certain victory. Luo Feng, someone is challenging the 9 Universes Heavenly Bridge at the moment, Guardian Baffin continued. If you want to try, you'll be next in line. Uka, Rongjun, someone's on the Great Axe Heavenly Bridge, he added, assigning challengers where choices couldn't be made. For some bridges, the geniuses could enter directly. Success, of course, was never guaranteed. As Yang Wu prepared to challenge, Guardian Buffin began broadcasting notices. So many big names care about Yang Wu, the peerless genius who appears once every 10 million eras. he muttered, and sent the message out. Long Yu King lifted her crystalline finger and tapped the floating screen. An email appeared. Yang Wu is challenging the heavenly bridge, she murmured with a sly smile. The Exalt told me to watch him closely. This little fellow always aims to shock people. He never stops until he does. The other geniuses from his talent war often test the heavenly bridge, she added, thinking of rivals like Bolin. I wonder how many levels he'll clear this time. The 9th, or the impossible 10th? Her smile sharpened, and she immediately rushed to the heavenly bridge divine plane. News spread fast. What? Yang Wu's challenging again? Apply to enter the heavenly bridge divine plane. Hundreds of geniuses who had been busy with other matters abandoned them and surged into the virtual universe heavenly bridge divine plane. The divine plane filled in an instant. Among those arriving were Long Yu King and a host of powerful, undying spiritual gods. So many spectators, King Kaishan said with a grin. The Exalt told me to pay attention to this little fellow. I won't be lax. Same here. As soon as I heard, I came to watch the broadcast, others replied. Many champions and some marquises gathered under orders from Exalts, who themselves acted on the commands of the universe lords. Guess how far he'll go this time, someone suggested. At least the 8th, one said. You're being too modest, another countered. He's used to amazing people. I think the 9th, several murmured. The 10th would rival an Undying's comprehension. The 9th is probably his limit. A universe-rank cultivator with only a few decades of refinement can't match an Undying. The 10th is the checkpoint every 3 levels, hard to reach. Still, maybe he'll reach the 10th. Don't let your eyeballs pop out if he does, Long Yu King laughed. Champions spoke casually, each representing the trust of their Exalts. The crowd buzzed with speculation. Yang Wu stood before the 9 universes heavenly bridge and watched its surface stretch into the vanishing distance. Time-space blade. It's been a while, he thought. If I'm going to make a world-shaking move, I'll go all out and show my strength today. In a flash, he became a golden streak of light and launched onto the bridge. A meteor several kilometers across floated ahead, and something inside it began to hum. An artificial voice echoed. Please choose your opponent. Controller, warrior, illusionist. Defeat any one to pass the 8th level. Warrior, Yang Wu said, smiling. The meteor cracked. A slab of rock rolled onto the bridge and transformed into a man clad in dark purple battle armor and a mask. To challenge the heavenly bridge's 8th level at universe rank, you truly are exceptional. Come, the Guardian intoned. A system panel appeared before Yang Wu. You have triggered a challenge mission. Heavenly Bridge 8th level Guardian. Mission requirement. Kill the Guardian. Strength comparison in progress. Comparison complete. Your strength far exceeds your opponent. Resolve the battle in 1 minute. 3 intermediate blind boxes. Resolve the battle in 3 minutes. 2 intermediate boxes. Resolve the battle in 10 minutes. 1 intermediate blind box. The reward structure was familiar. The faster the victory, the greater the prize. Yang Wu ended the duel with a single strike. The 8th level Guardian collapsed, and 3 intermediate blind boxes were instantly credited to his account. From the previous rewards, the medium-level blind boxes hadn't been a scam. It was just that the prizes were far beyond what Yang Wu could have been expected to handle at his stage. What? He killed the Guardian of the Heavenly Bridge's 8th level with a single strike? This is the most difficult universe Heavenly Bridge. He demolished the 8th level so decisively. The 9th can't be hard for him either. How is that even possible? In the last talent war, the top prodigies, after 30 years in Primordial Chaos City, only managed to reach the 3rd level. The higher you go, the harder it gets. Breaking through the 7th is already a nightmare. Yang Wu really deserves being a disciple of the Primordial Chaos City Lord. Luo Feng is only at the 7th level, Bolin just the 5th. Yang Wu is monstrous. Even Guardian Beifan couldn't hide his disbelief. The gathered geniuses, and those like Rong Jun, whose consciousness had returned to Primordial Chaos City, were all stunned. Everyone knew the Heavenly Bridge got exponentially harder with each level. Cultivators could be stuck on one rung for tens of thousands of years. The universe rank elders from the primitive mystical region, for example, had participated in the last talent war and took decades, even millennia, to pass the 8th level, and they hadn't even faced the universe heavenly bridge at its toughest. Yet Yang Wu had chosen that most difficult path, cultivated for under a century, and still forced his way past the 8th level. Not only that, he seemed to have strength left to spare. The gap between him and everyone else was terrifying. Luo Feng, Rong Jun, and Uka stood together watching Yang Wu on the screen. Uka, helpless, said, "Luo Feng, aren't you from the same planet as him? How do you two both end up so abnormal? Even among the peak apprentices of Monka Star, we've never seen two like you in the same era." One strike, that was the 8th level guardian. "I'm still on the 3rd level. I'm just a child. Please let me go," someone cried in despair. For the 9th level, the highest reward listed was 4 medium-level blind boxes. The Guardian's comprehension of time and space origin wasn't low. It had reached the perfect stage of the 3rd image of the Universe Chaos Tablet, but that perfection still fell miles short of Yang Wu's true mastery. Curious about how strong his opponent really was, Yang Wu traded a few more moves, carefully sensing whether the Guardian's time-space origin techniques differed substantially from his own. Then, in a single decisive strike, he finished the fight. 4 medium-level blind boxes were awarded, bringing his total to 7. How is this possible? The last 30 years, and he's already at the most difficult universe heavenly bridge. My God. And the 9th level went down in one strike? Uka's face drained of color at the sheer gulf of power. Yang Wu, he's a monster. I can't even pass the 3rd level, but he's beaten the 9th. A genius from the heaven and earth secret realm choked on his words. Luo Feng and Bolin are frightening, but Yang Wu makes them look modest by comparison. This life, there's no chance. Everyone had assumed that the Heavenly Bridge's difficulty would stretch time, that Yang Wu might spend decades or centuries in the outside world before cracking the 9th level. Reasonable expectation was one thing, monstrous talent was another. The crowd of undying spiritual gods assembled on the Tongtian Bridge plain fell silent, staring at the screen in shock and disbelief. The 10th level offered up to 5 medium-level blind boxes, still within reach on paper. The 10th level is about to begin, commentators murmured. This reaches undying level comprehension. He looks confident, but his victory over the 9th wasn't as clean as the 8th. The 10th could be tricky. I'll bet Yang Wu passes the 10th. Who'd take that bet? The undying spiritual gods watched and debated, occasionally smiling at one another. You can't judge Yang Wu by common sense, someone said. Is he even human? Another chuckled. Can he reach the 10th level? It's comparable to an undying's understanding. It should be impossible, someone reasoned. But when they looked at Yang Wu's bearing, they sensed he might do it with ease. The Heavenly Bridge trials came around only every 10,000 years, and each session produced 1,000 geniuses. Typically, only a handful would pass the 3rd level in 30 years, and fewer than 1 per session on average would reach the 4th. Only once in 30 talent wars might someone clear the 5th. Yet Yang Wu had already reached the 9th. It was impossible for them not to feel stunned. The 10th level guardian was a yellow-robed figure. Yang Wu didn't spar. He killed the opponent outright in a single strike. The 10th level fell, and 5 medium-level blind boxes were credited. His cumulative total reached 12. The comprehension required at the 10th level was equivalent to fully grasping the 8 basic origin laws: metal, wood, water, fire, earth, lightning, light, and wind. What was terrifying was that Yang Wu had eclipsed that with overwhelming advantage. Whether the onlookers accepted it or not, he had passed the Heavenly Bridge's 10th level, a feat comparable to an undying's enlightenment. The 11th level opponent was another yellow-robed figure, but the rewards escalated. The top prize was a high-level blind box. The system announced the new challenge. You have triggered a challenge mission, Heavenly Bridge 11th level Guardian. Mission requirement, kill the Guardian. Comparing strengths, comparison complete. Your strength exceeds the opponent. Mission rewards generated. Solve the battle in 1 minute. 1 high-level blind box. Solve the battle in 3 minutes. 5 medium-level blind boxes. Solve the battle in 10 minutes. 4 medium-level blind boxes. A high-level blind box. Yang Wu's eyes flared. He had only ever opened 1 high-level blind box before, and it had yielded a world tree seedling, one of the key reasons for his meteoric rise. High-level blind boxes were incredibly valuable. He hadn't expected to earn one as a reward for a mere 11th floor trial mission. The blue-clothed man's voice carried a faint edge. Young man of universe rank 9, I congratulate you on reaching this step. I hope you can pass my trial. The guardian of the 11th floor was indeed terrifying. His comprehension of the origin laws far exceeded Yang Wu's, but the raw power of his secret method was inferior. That disparity, born from Yang Wu's dissection of the essence of time-space origin laws, was exactly what made the difference. Yang Wu dispatched his opponent with ease, and a high-level blind box was added to his account. His heart swelled with excitement and disbelief. How could it be so easy? Yes, it's too easy. It's definitely not normal. The champion-level onlookers were unsettled. By normal logic, Yang Wu's comprehension should be lower than the guardian of the heavenly bridge's 10th floor. If he could handle the 10th floor, that alone might be explainable. Combat tests measure more than pure law comprehension, and as a disciple of the primordial Chaos City Lord, he might have unusual advantages. But getting past the 11th floor, that left them trembling. It's the essence of space, John Yan King said, eyes bright. In the original timeline, he had once guided Luo Feng down this path and was well acquainted with the depths of space essence. He recognized the signs. Yang Wu's space comprehension had reached the 3rd stage, comparable to the Heavenly Bridge's 9th floor. But Yang Wu had also dissected all 108 types of space essence and mastered their core, which tightened his connection with the space origin law. Because of that, John Yan King continued, when he activates a secret method, its power far outstrips what his formal comprehension should allow, strong enough to rival the Heavenly Bridge's 12th floor. A king-level undying gave a faint smile. I thought Yang Wu was unusual before, but now it makes sense. He's dissected all 108 types of space essence. A murmur of astonishment ran through the crowd. How difficult are those 108 types? Everyone here should know. Lian Luo, the prodigy who appears once every 10,000 eras, spent 3,000 years with immense resources and countless fortunate encounters to fully analyze the 108 space essences, one elder recalled. 3,000 years? Another repeated, incredulous. And Lian Luo only did it after reaching World Lord rank. They spoke of ranks because the World Lord rank granted a particular advantage. World Lords could wield world power and project their consciousness directly into the universe origin land. In that state of profound resonance with the origin laws, perception sharpened immensely and law comprehension became far easier. Many peerless geniuses struggled with time-space origin laws at the universe rank or territory lord rank. World Lords enjoyed a unique boon. Some preferred to remain at World Lord for countless years to deepen their origin law's acknowledgement, since once they ascended to undying, their inner world transformed into a divine kingdom, and their consciousness could no longer merge as directly with the universe origin. As a result, some World Lords, by cultivating and refining at that rank, could accelerate their law comprehension to levels that even champions found hard to match later. So for Yang Wu to dissect all 108 space essences in 30 years at the universe rank, that's absurd, someone concluded. Their astonishment was not misplaced. The primal universe Chaos City offered superior conditions for enlightenment. Yang Wu had access to repeated Chaos Tablet comprehension attempts, the Chaos Diagram, with 1/10 the effect of a Chaos Tablet, and mentorship from the likes of King-level Invincible Harrison and Exalt-level 9-Sword Exalt. Most of all, the World Tree's innate aptitude for time-space origin laws amplified his gifts. With those advantages, his comprehension speed at the universe rank could surpass the progress of a once-in-10,000-era genius at the World Lord rank. Even so, the gap seemed impossible. Even granting his talent, one champion-level expert said, dissecting 108 space essences alone shouldn't be enough to flatten an 11th-floor guardian. Merely mastering the space essences wouldn't be enough, the king-level Undying offered. But what if he's also dissected the essence of time? The room froze. The implication hung heavy. Had Yang Wu comprehended both space and time at their core? To understand 108 space essences in 30 years is already unbelievable, let alone doing time as well, someone whispered. Impossible. Absolutely impossible, another voice protested. They weren't exaggerating. Comprehending both time and space origins was not a simple sum of difficulties. It was a multiplier. The greatest geniuses could devote entire lives and still not even crack one of the two. An exalt could fully grasp either the time or the space origin law, an achievement on par with a prodigy who appears once every 10 million eras, but even they struggled to comprehend the opposite law. When a cultivator attempted to study the other half, the first comprehension would interfere. The unresolved subtleties of the law would make further progress exponentially harder. That was why Yang Wu's apparent rate of improvement shattered their expectations. If he had truly dissected the essences of both time and space within 30 years at universe rank, he was no longer merely a genius. He was an invincible phenomenon, a talent who transcended all known rules of advancement. The champions and undyings exchanged troubled glances. They all understood the stakes and the sheer rarity such a talent represented. Whatever the truth, Yang Wu's rise had just rewritten the measures of possibility. A hush fell over the gathered geniuses as they stared at the screen, stunned. Could it be true? In just a few decades, someone had leapt from barely passing the Tongqian Bridge's 7th floor to clearing the 11th, and everyone could see Yang Wu's strength was clearly beyond the 11th. Heavens! How is that possible? How could his progress be this fast? Even if he were acknowledged as World Lord rank by the time-space origin laws, he couldn't have improved like this in only 30 years. Terrifying. Unbelievable. Isn't this fake? Bolin whispered from the crowd, bewildered and hollowed out by the thought. He, like the others, could not accept that Yang Wu, who had been dormant for decades, could suddenly be so powerful. Slowly, the spectators closed their eyes, overwhelmed. Yang Wu could defeat a guardian on the Tongqian Bridge's 11th floor with ease. His comprehension of the origin laws had to be at least that high. If that was true, his talent was even more unfathomable, comparable to KD, who once, as a universe rank, had challenged the primordial origin Tongqian Mountain at Territory Lord rank and World Lord rank, and at the peak of World Lord had rivaled champion-level Undying, even killing one. Could he pass the 12th floor? Or even the Yuanxi Tongtian Mountains? A champion asked gravely. Among the conditions for ascending the primordial origin Tongqian were the abilities to pass specific Tongqian bridge floors. The first mountain required the 12th floor, the second the 16th, and the third the 20th, the 20th floor already one step from breaking through to venerable. Most champions present had only fought their way to the 20th floor after countless epochs of cultivation. No one believed Yang Wu could reach the accomplishments of humanity's greatest geniuses in just a few decades. He has an invincible bearing, another said. Given time, he will certainly pass those mountains. Perhaps, said Long Yu King, shaking her head, but to do it in such a short span, difficult. The atmosphere grew expectant. The Tongqian Bridge arena fell utterly silent. Even the king-level Undying were glued to the giant light screen in the sky. On it, Yang Wu had just flown to the end of the 12th floor. Floors 7 through 9 lay in open space. Floors 10 through 12 were deep within a planet. The bridge itself stretched from the planetary core up through the magma and out to the surface. Yang Wu reached the surface and looked out across the vast land below. The ground beneath the bridge trembled, and a deep rumbling echoed up. Choose your opponent: warrior, controller, or illusionist. Defeat one to pass the 12th floor. Warrior, Yang Wu smiled. The top reward for the 12th floor flashed, 2 high-level blind boxes. The planet shook. Earthy yellow rays erupted from everywhere, converging in midair. In an instant, they solidified into a mysterious, powerful figure in yellow battle robes and a strange mask. A time-space blade was strapped to his back. He stared at Yang Wu like a sentinel. A universe-ranked challenger at the 12th floor of the Tongqian Bridge. Commendable, the yellow-clad guardian said. You even have the qualification to challenge the primordial origin Tongqian Mountain. Among our virtual universe corporation's territory lord rank members in the primitive mystical region, none have passed this stage, his voice continued. I'm here to change that record, Yang Wu replied, smiling. Yang Wu had already fully comprehended the first 3 chaos diagrams of the universe chaos tablet. He had seized the 108 essences of the time origin law and the 108 essences of the space origin law. To rival the 12th floor's power, one must grasp every one of those 108 essences in both time and space. Yang Wu hadn't merely understood a single diagram, he had fused the three into a seamless whole. The combined profundities of the first three diagrams were complete and perfect. Such integration tested temperament, will, and talent. Yang Wu lacked none of those qualities, and after repeated insights into the Chaos Tablet, he had reached this level naturally. "You seem confident," the Guardian said coldly. "Kill!" Both shouted at once. Time and space warped around their clash. Yang Wu's blades moved along the most exquisite curves through cosmic time-space, sweeping through tiny gaps in the fluctuations themselves. The Guardian matched him, strike for strike. Both were at deep universe-rank strength, hardly lethal to the other, so their duel left visible marks across the sky instead of tearing open the cosmos. In the span of a single second, after hundreds of exchanges, Yang Wu had already read his opponent's patterns. "Ha-ha, fierce but predictable," Yang Wu said, smiling. The Tongqin Bridge tests comprehension of the origin laws. Guardians generally relied on a single signature maneuver. Yang Wu, with access to multiple secret methods from the chaos diagrams, quickly exposed the Guardian's blind spot. A flash of blade light, perhaps not the most powerful but impossibly swift, swept along time-space fluctuations the Guardian could not detect. The attack came so fast the Guardian had no time to react. The result was decisive. Yang Wu passed the 12th floor. 2 high-tier blind boxes were credited to his account, bringing his total to 3. He had confidence for the 13th floor as well, but he did not continue. Passing the 13th floor now would complete his advancement mission, and Yang Wu had other matters to attend to. He did not wish to advance so swiftly. P.S. Extra chapter for 10,000 reward. On the central island of the Tongtian Bridge, Divine Plane, undying spiritual gods and other luminaries all craned their necks to stare at the colossal light screen suspended in the sky. When Yang Wu finally slain his opponent and cleared the 12th level, the crowd erupted. A roar of disbelief rolled across the island. He actually cleared the 12th level. He started at the 8th and jumped straight to the 12th, 5 levels at once. For a world lord who had cultivated for hundreds of thousands of years, clearing the 12th level might not be shocking. But for a universe-rank cultivator who had only been training for a few decades to surge through to the 12th level in a single run, it was beyond comprehension. A universe rank clearing the 12th? It's been ages since we saw a genius like this. A cluster of undying stood slack-jawed. To have someone so young, barely 100 years old, surpass peers who had cultivated for tens of thousands of years and were still stuck on the 11th level left them reeling. There had been peerless geniuses before who reached the 12th level at universe rank, but they were legendary figures who had trained far longer than Yang Wu. Many present considered themselves lucky to witness this moment. "He stopped?" A champion undying exclaimed as Yang Wu did not continue into the 13th level, but instead exited the Tongqian Bridge Divine Plane. The relief that spread through the watching undying was audible. Tense shoulders eased. "I was bracing for him to go on to the 13th. Then I'd feel like my life was wasted," another said, half joking. "How many levels does the whole heavenly bridge have anyway?" someone murmured. "He's not even 100 years old," another added. "Too young, too green. But if he keeps growing, he could dwarf us." "Dwarf us? Are you praising us?" "No, I think he could surpass even and exalt." The champion undying chatted and laughed, while attendants hurried off to file reports. Guardian Bafin himself inhaled deeply and began sending mass transmissions. No one could risk ignoring a peerless talent like this, rare even across tens of millions of eras. In the grand hall, the nine-sword Exalt, seated high on his throne, rose abruptly and fixed his gaze on Long Yu King below. "What did you say?" "Reporting to Exalt," Long Yu King said with respect. "Yang Wu cleared 5 levels in one go and has reached the 12th level of the Heavenly Bridge. You can watch the recording." Among the 10 strongest geniuses in the territory, Lord-rank primitive mystical region, the best has only reached the 11th. Decades of cultivation, and yet so much stronger than territory lord peerless geniuses who took tens of thousands of years? Is he on KD's level? Ninesword Exalt asked, voice low. Word of the human race's new benchmark genius, corroborated by multiple undying, spread like wildfire. It swept through human territories and then through the wider primordial universe with dizzying speed. On planet Locke, a seemingly ordinary life planet that hid a subterranean divine kingdom, news traveled differently. Inside the temple, a parade of massive, diverse Zerg warriors shuffled along, some even gilded. Golden Zerg warriors, the undying Zerg warriors. Humans in white or gold robes and in armor mingled with the insectoids, moving past one another in uneasy peace. Master, called a golden-robed human, surrounded by a clutch of insectoid attendants. A voice like silk answered, echoing through the hall. Why call me? Master, the human said, bowing. One of the undying spiritual gods we've been watching, that human's top genius, Yang Wu, ranked number 1, has just cleared the 12th level of the Heavenly Bridge. The other universe-ranked geniuses under the Human Virtual Universe Corporation only reached the 8th level, the human added respectfully. The Zerg Queen Mother arched an antenna in interest, and this Yang Wu, in just a few decades, has surpassed them and taken humanity's strongest benchmark. This growth rate, the Queen Mother mused. In human history, only the one who created the virtual universe matched such a rise. Her knowledge of Origin Ancestor hinted that she was not to be underestimated. Activate our planted, undying spiritual gods, she said after a beat. Try to make a move. If we can kill Yang Wu, sacrificing an ordinary undying puppet is a small price. Yes, Master, the golden-robed human replied. It took us so much to eliminate KD's threat before. After he left, the Zerg Queen Mother shook her head. For now, all we can do is test him through our infiltrators. Only when he ventures into the outside territory battlefield can my insect race be sure to finish him. So decisively that even his teacher, the primordial Chaos City Lord, couldn't revive him by twisting time and space. Back at Primordial Chaos City, Yang Wu sat in his private chamber. Babada, turn off virtual network reception, he instructed. He had expected the uproar his 12th level clear would cause. Though he felt a thrill, he calmed himself quickly. Clearing the 12th meant he had enough talent to warrant more resources from his race, but it was not enough to be considered truly powerful. To be a genuine force in the universe, you needed at least Universe Lord-level strength. Yang Wu had talent, resources, temperament, and opportunities, and a deep foundation, but he still had far to go. Many of history's brightest geniuses had burned out chasing the top. KD was a warning, a world lord who could fell champions but who ultimately left only regret in his wake. This 12th level clear proved Yang Wu's capacity. It did not make him invincible. Any strong undying could annihilate him and his world tree clone with little effort. He was only beginning. More peaks lay ahead. The most immediate task, he reminded himself, was to open the blind box. A faint system chime sounded, and a notification floated in front of him. Opening primary blind box. Congratulations, acquired Wood Origin Talent Plus. The reward was solid. If luck had been on his side, he might have gotten the same talent from 2 primary blind boxes, but one was good enough for now. If a primary blind box had produced a Wood Origin talent and another had yielded a primary talent upgrade card, it could be combined to upgrade. Yang Wu had already opened over 100 primary blind boxes, yet only 2 primary talent upgrade cards had appeared. So an intermediate blind box that handed him a Wood Origin talent with 10 times the Wood Origin compatibility was a very welcome prize. At least it wasn't one of those flashy but useless treasures. Opening intermediate blind box. Congratulations, you obtained an intermediate talent upgrade card. No sooner had he thought of the primary upgrade card than an intermediate upgrade card was awarded. Intermediate talents, Yang Wu already had 2. One was the Wood Origin Talent Plus he had just received. The other was the talent he had upgraded earlier from abnormal excitement to normal excitement. If Wood Origin Talent Plus could be pushed toward a high-level talent, Yang Wu's speed at comprehending Wood Origin techniques would become frightening. But in truth, even before undying and before becoming a Universe Lord, Yang Wu had only intended to focus on comprehending the Golden Origin and Time-Space Origin laws. His talent was high, but his energy reserves were limited. Until he was fully mature, he didn't want to waste effort on unnecessary laws. Normal excitement, however, was terrifying in its own right. It applied independently of all forms of force. If it could be upgraded to a high-level talent, it would be a huge help before he became a universe lord. Yang Wu would soon be a world lord, and this talent would likely see frequent use. If he had to choose, he'd prioritize upgrading normal excitement, using intermediate talent upgrade card on normal excitement. Talent upgraded to potential release. Potential release. After activation, the effective intensity of each of your attacks begins to fluctuate within a range of 200% to 800%. During potential release, physical strength, origin power, and other resources are consumed an additional 10,000%, 100 kinds. As expected of a high-level talent, Yang Wu breathed. The minimum 2x multiplier was already comparable to the Golden Horn Beast's enhancement, and this bonus was independent of other force augmentations or amplitude effects. Potential release was terrifying. If the fluctuation were uniformly distributed, the average hit would be 500%, a 5-time strike. Even though consumption had increased 100-fold, it wasn't a fatal problem. A high multiplier could end a fight in a single blow. Opening intermediate blind box. Congratulations, you obtained the complete version of the Chaos Diagram. Compared with Emperor armor, talents, and upgrade cards, the Chaos Diagram looked ordinary. But he'd cleared the 12th level of the Heavenly Bridge, and even with the 10-fold reward for the first 30 years, earned only a bit more than 4 million points. The complete Chaos Diagram was worth 1 trillion points, well beyond his immediate means. Still, being in a rapid growth phase, acquiring it early would be very valuable. Opening intermediate blind box. Congratulations, you obtained the domain treasure, Vast Sea Tower. Yang Wu scanned it. As a high-level domain treasure, it wouldn't directly increase his personal strength, but its utility was enormous. Once activated, the domain established a control zone over the entire area. 2 fighters of similar level could have entire fights decided by the domain. One could be completely suppressed by its effects, crushed by overwhelming control. Against stronger foes, it would restrict actions and provide an opportunity to escape. Against weaker ones, it was a mowing device. Opening intermediate blind box. Congratulations, you obtained the top-tier treasure, Beast God Weapon, enhanced version. He knew the Beast God Weapon from the original story, a Psyker Master's armament aligned with the 7 transformations of the Evolution God. That cultivation route favored golden and space origin laws, which didn't sit well with his World Tree clone. The Beast God Weapon, though, was powerful enough for Universe Exalts. The enhanced version he just received, however, was tuned for Psyker Masters who used time-space origin laws, much more compatible with the World Tree clone. Yang Wu waved his hand, and a massive, ancient shield materialized. Completely transparent, it bore faint blood-colored sigils and exquisite carvings down its 3-meter height and 1-meter width. He studied it a moment, then handed it to the World Tree clone. Opening intermediate blind box. Congratulations, you obtained the palace treasure Misty Rainboat. Plainly put, it was a palace-class treasure with defense even better than treasure armor. Opening intermediate blind box. Congratulations, you obtained the soul treasure Soul Lock Tower. It could guard Yang Wu's soul, providing soul defense, or lock others' souls and inflict soul damage. Opening intermediate blind box. Congratulations, you obtained the escape treasure Speedy Legs. For survivability, the Flying Palace, Misty Rainboat, and the Soul Refuge Soul Lock Tower were both exceptional. So long as physical and soul attacks stayed within their limits, they could render him immune, though only passively. If an active escape was needed, Speedy Legs might be indispensable. Opening intermediate blind box. Congratulations, you obtained the blade treasure, God-Severing Blade. A top-tier martial weapon, perfect for Yang Wu's main body. Still, most of these treasures would only fully come into play once he became a world lord and fought on the outside territory battlefield. Opening intermediate blind box. Congratulations, you obtained light origin talents. Another intermediate talent. Useful in the long run, but probably like the wood origin talent plus, not immediately relevant. Opening intermediate blind box. Congratulations, you obtained 5 points of fortune. Fortune was less direct but lifelong. The higher your fortune, the stranger and more favorable the coincidences. If his luck kept rising, he might end up like Luo Feng and stumble onto a treasure the moment he entered Original Star. Extra fortune meant he could effectively snag an intermediate blind box for free at any time. That possibility alone was terrifying. Opening intermediate blind box. Congratulations! You obtained I Want to Play Yasuo's magical keyboard. Holy crap! Yang Wu's eyes lit up. The first time he'd pulled this item, it had seemed trivial, but it had already proven to be a hidden ace. The last time, a seemingly insignificant little wish triggered by that keyboard had directly led to the successful gestation of his World Tree clone. That made this reward one of the most valuable of the lot, a customized service tailored to him. Of course, like before, he still hadn't figured out exactly where to use it. Overall, the rewards from those 12 mid-level blind boxes had been excellent. Many of the items wouldn't show their value immediately, but they would matter in the long run. The last one, a ridiculous magical keyboard labeled I Want to Play Yasuo, was terrifying in its own way. Then a high-level blind box popped open. A notification announced itself plainly. Opened a high-level blind box. Congratulations, you have received a high-level talent upgrade card. Yang Wu stared at the card in his hands and felt a knot of indecision. The Golden Origin talent was crucial. His path to becoming undying depended on it. But the other thing the mid-level blind boxes had promised was an upgrade that would turn the mid-level talent normal excitement into potential release. And that talent was something he coveted just as much. He wanted both, but he only had the single high-level talent upgrade card. In the end, he made his choice. With a small motion, he used the high-level card on his Golden Origin talent. A new notification appeared. Used high-level talent upgrade card on Golden Origin talent. Talent upgraded to Golden Origin Darling. Golden Origin Darling, top-level talent. When comprehending the Golden Origin law, compatibility is multiplied many times over. Golden light swirled around him. Suddenly a fog of Golden Origin energy wrapped Yang Wu, and his soul felt the strange power clearly. If his clarity in comprehending ordinary origins like wood, water, and fire had been a 1, his comprehension of the Golden Origin law was now roughly 3,000. In other words, his speed in grasping the Golden Origin law had just jumped by a factor of 3,000. That surpassed the Golden Horn Beast and put him on par with Luo Feng's Moshe clan clone. The demonic killer race's native clarity in comprehending the space origin law had once given them 2,000 times the normal clarity. Yang Wu's talent was no less than Luo Feng's demonic killer race. Still, because this was a space-related talent, he could understand why he had envied it. And it wasn't as if this was the limit of talent. Luo Feng's Moshe clan clone had evolved again after obtaining the Heart of Space. Yang Wu had seen the terrifying control time and space ability manifested by his World Tree clone. Compared with effects like Origin Control, the title Origin Darling was only part of a larger hierarchy. He allowed himself a satisfied smile. Potential release would have to wait. Another high-level blind box opened shortly after. A second notification appeared. Opened a high-level blind box. Congratulations, you have received a high-level secret method upgrade card. Yang Wu's eyes brightened. With the World Tree seedling and the talent upgrade already in hand, this secret method upgrade card had to be powerful. He had accumulated many secret methods. If they could be elevated, they might become Universe Lord-level ultimate techniques, or even methods approaching Universe Strongest caliber. Those sorts of methods would vault him to unprecedented heights. But something held him back. He remembered the original story and how Earth had been taken. That had always upset him. In this life, he had built a deep, inseparable attachment to Earth. He also recalled Hu Yanbo of the Yunmo star lineage, who had once cast a secret method that concealed Earth's coordinates across nearly 1,000 light-years. Other ships could not locate the Dark Universe coordinates, and so could not reach Earth via the Dark Universe. To reach Earth, they had to fly from almost 1,000 light-years away, taking centuries. Only a few among the Undying could break Hu Yanbo's concealment, and not many others could either. But the high-level forces of the Virtual Universe Corporation or the Great Axe Battleground could, if they wished, uncover it. With Yang Wu's rapid rise and Luo Feng's ascent, Yang Wu suspected some parties were already looking toward Earth. Yang Wu's talent would earn him favor from many universe lords and even great axe founder. But Earth was tied to another universe strongest, Zuo Shanke. Yang Wu had no confidence that he could defend the world Zuo Shanke had painstakingly cultivated on his own. As Zuo Shanke had warned about Luofeng's Star Tower, if Luofeng exposed the Star Tower, it would be seized by Primordial Chaos City Lord or Great Axe Founder, if not in their names, then in the name of the human race. Earth, valuable as it was, would be at risk. Without an unchallengeable guardian, Earth's fate would be uncertain. Upgrading his own secret method tempted him, but he could not stomach seeing Earthlings suffer. High-level blind boxes would come again, bread would come, milk would come. He made his decision. Upgrade, he thought. The Yunmo star lineage's secret method began to change. 5 minutes later, Hu Yanbo's concealment that had stretched nearly 1,000 light-years was successfully elevated. First, the scope expanded dramatically. The entire Milky Way galaxy was now wrapped within the secret method. At the center, Earth itself was reinforced. Within 1,000 light-years of Earth, the secret method's rules became more severe. Only Earth inhabitants and practitioners at the true God level could enter or exit freely. Even at the furthest reaches, the edge of the Milky Way, no one below the Universe Lord threshold could penetrate the barrier. In practical terms, even if Great Axe Founder or other powerful beings learned the Milky Way harbored something extraordinary, they would be kept at bay. Unexpectedly, the upgrade didn't stop there. It also strengthened a casually forged secret method that Zuo Shanke had created. Both protections had been made far more formidable. On Earth, 100 years had passed in the primordial universe since Yang Wu's ascent and his entry into Primordial Chaos City. The planet was flourishing. Green forests and birdsong, elegant residences and villas scattered across the land. Flying war god-level practitioners cut through the skies as a matter of course. Planetary-level cultivators were common, and war god-level figures were no longer rare. Then, without warning, boundless divine light condensed into an array of phenomena. Billions of beams rained down beneath an endless sky, and a purple auspicious glow suffused the universe. Concealed from ordinary sight, origin laws were drawn in and transformed into Tao. Waves of law surged outward. The world itself seemed to be swelling, changing at an uncontrollable rate. A mountain split, and its mass appeared to double, continuing to expand. "The world is expanding," one cultivator who had been meditating on that mountain cried. "Cultivation's gotten so much easier. I actually advanced to astral rank," his companion shouted, eyes wide. They stared at one another, stunned at how rapidly everything around them had shifted. The secret method's advancement spreads from the subtle to the comprehensive. Applied to Earth, it meant the origins of every living thing were strengthened. A single blade of grass could become a towering tree. Countless trees shot up into the sky, some rivaling Yang Wu's final world tree clone. Mountains swelled, sea levels rose, and the continent's structure shifted. The deeper the foundation of the origin laws, the more beings could benefit. With such a massive transformation of Earth, humans, Earth's protagonists, gained many more possibilities. Simply put, their bloodlines strengthened and Earthlings became more compatible with the universe origin. This secret method improvement saved countless generations of effort. Opened high-level blind box. Congratulations. 9 Nether Master Divine Power Seawater obtained. 9 Nether Master Divine Power Seawater, Universe Lord rank. Yang Wu had wanted to nurture a 9 Nether Master clone, but this was another inexplicable complication. He bit his lip. The 9 Nether Master Seawater that Luofeng had obtained in the original story should have been nurtured in a special way by the 9 Nether Master himself. That would make the 9 Nether Master's talent secret method stronger and his life gene level higher. Yet this seawater was labeled Universe Lord rank, ridiculously high. There was no limit to what Yang Wu's clones could achieve, but reaching Universe Lord would take too long. He frowned. "These rewards keep getting weirder," he muttered. "Whatever. I'll keep it and deal with it when I reach the primitive mystical region." Although he had, in a sense, gotten what he wanted, he'd long suspected this outcome and simply hadn't wanted to admit it. The Guardians of Yuanxi Tongtian Mountain were arranged in 3 passes: the foot, the middle, and the peak. Each pass was defended by the trio of ox-headed warriors, ape-man psychers, and snake-woman illusionists. The foot was the easiest, the middle far harder, the peak absurdly difficult. Roughly speaking, the second pass was 10 times harder than the first, and the third 10 times harder than the second, so the third was 100 times harder than the first. Only by clearing all 3 passes could one claim genuine success. The true purpose of the Yuanxi Tongtian Mountain was not to let geniuses breeze through, but to set an unreachable standard. Still, occasionally a monstrous talent, one in 10 million eras, would appear and pass it. The cosmic-level original Tongtian Mountain theoretically required a 12th level aptitude on the Heavenly Bridge, but actual combat depended on more than raw power: psychology, counterstyles, timing. Remember, it was a coordinated attack by warriors, psychers, and illusionists. If an illusionist delayed you, a warrior could finish you in an instant. Fortunately, Yang Wu's talent, extraordinary mindset, had already evolved. It now qualified him to resist the 21st level of the Illusion Sea. Resisting the Tongtian Mountain's illusions would not be a problem. Swish! Yang Wu vanished from the virtual universe's primitive mystical region study and instantly reappeared in a special divine plane space within the virtual universe. In that Tongtian Mountain divine plane, there were 3 colossal peaks, each more imposing than the last. Each mountain bore 2 golden characters, Heaven and Earth, Grand Beginning, and Origin, and the original Tongtian Mountain towered above them all. Yang Wu streaked across the land toward the original Tongtian Mountain. The rules were simple: fight your way from the foot to the peak and kill all the guardians at each pass. As he landed at the foot, he looked up at the mountain, its summit lost in clouds. Near him, a towering ox-headed man slept on a stone, a dark purple great axe, about his height, leaning against the rock. The axe seemed formed of coagulated blood. Its faint, bloody glow made the heart race. Ox-headed man, wake up, call the ape man and the snake woman. I'm going to challenge the original Tongtian Mountain, Yang Wu called. The ox-headed man sprang up, excitement bright on his face. You want to challenge the original Tongtian Mountain? Of course, Yang Wu answered. Ha ha! Finally, someone's come to play. The ox-headed man laughed, then tilted his head and bellowed, White-skinned ape, snake woman, over here. His call rolled across the mountain. Whoosh! Whoosh! 2 streaks of light shot in from opposite directions and touched down beside him. From the left came a lean ape man in silver-white battle armor, his fur golden. A black bamboo pole, an unusual psyker weapon, rested on his back. From the right came an alluring woman in diaphanous gauze, a clear illusionist with a snake's tail. Heh! I've been waiting a long time. Finally someone to challenge the original Tongtian Mountain, the ape man snickered, hunching his shoulders. Tsk, tsk, let's see what his background is. The snake woman purred and fixed Yang Wu with watery, fox-like eyes. She studied him closely. So it's His Highness Yang Wu, a member of the primitive mystical region who just passed the 12th level of the Heavenly Bridge. No wonder he dares to challenge the cosmic-level original Tongtian Mountain. He's a registered disciple of primordial Chaos City Lord, but he only just cleared the 12th level of the Heavenly Bridge, the ape man added. Isn't it a bit too confident to challenge the original Tongtian Mountain now? Another voice objected. Ox-headed man, what are you talking about? The ape man laughed. Yang Wu is a genius who appears once every 10 million eras. Is there anything he can't do? All right, no more talk. We're just the guardians at the foot of the mountain, the snake woman said through a smile that didn't reach her eyes. She turned to Yang Wu, face softening. His Highness Yang Wu, shall we begin the challenge? Of course, Yang Wu replied. My great axe is already thirsty for blood, the ox-headed man howled. Just as both sides readied themselves, Yang Wu's mouth twitched. He idly opened his panel and checked his mission list. He'd unexpectedly received a challenge mission for the original Tongtian Mountain. A free top-tier blind box for clearing the mountain would be an excellent reward. White-skinned ape, snake woman, attack! The ox-headed man shouted, but he didn't strike first. The snake woman's invisible soul attack expanded before she moved. Hiss! Like sharpened awls, psyker power, illusion, and soul strike hammered into Yang Wu's sea of consciousness, probing and assaulting his soul. The moment the snake woman made her move, the ox-headed man took a single decisive step, and the earth itself shuddered. He barreled past the others and planted himself between the attacker and Yang Wu. His massive great axe already loomed overhead, gleaming like an earthen blade as it descended toward Yang Wu's head. The mental assault that accompanied it was fearsome, but it had been badly miscalculated. It could not touch Yang Wu's consciousness. No tremor passed through his soul. The illusion had no purchase on him at all. Illusions don't work, and that axe, by law comprehension, it's only the caliber of a 7th-level guardian of the universe Tongtian Bridge, Yang Wu said under his breath. With a single step, the thick tree behind him shattered into a spray of splinters that ripped outward. Ancient trunks groaned, and branches snapped as if a storm had ripped through the forest. A time-space blade materialized in Yang Wu's hand, and he struck at the suddenly exposed ox-headed man. Realizing his initial attack had failed, the ox-headed man turned to flee. Yang Wu became a phantom and gave chase. A 9th-level universe expert could exceed speeds of 300 kilometers per second. Yang Wu's mastery of the time and space origin laws was even deeper. He vanished and reappeared thousands of kilometers away in an instant. "Go to hell!" The ox-headed man roared as he spun and brought his axe down with murderous force. Yang Wu didn't dodge. He met the axe head-on, a cold glint in his eyes. He drove downward through the air, channeling the explosive force of his movement into his right arm. The saber he wielded had already fused with the fabric of space and time origin laws. His strike carried the ripples of time and space and cleaved straight down. At the same moment, the white-skinned ape-man's eyes flared. The psychic weapon behind him blossomed into a vault of golden light that filled the sky. The time-space blade met the great axe with a cataclysmic impact. The ox-headed man's raw strength and savage ferocity were formidable, and his law comprehension lent terrible weight to the swing. But Yang Wu's blade was on another level. The ox-headed man's body shuddered, the saber cut through him, and he died instantly. Streams of golden light, the ape-man's psychic weapons, ripped from the sky and skittered along the air, grazing the ox-headed man's corpse as they turned to strike Yang Wu. The space around them bowed and twisted under their power. Still, with a single thought, Yang Wu sent his saber racing along the time-space eddies the weapons left in their wake. His strike slipped through the smallest, most precise gap in their fluctuations and passed clean through the ape-man's body. He was gone before he could react. The snake woman, an expert in illusions whose arts had failed to touch him, was cut down by the same unerring blade. In a handful of breaths, the ox-headed man, the white-skinned ape, and the snake woman lay motionless. The fight was over. Yang Wu had cleared the foot of the mountain. "This level at the foot of the mountain was too easy," Yang Wu said, smiling faintly. He moved on toward the mountainside. The opponents waiting there were 10 times stronger than those below, but for someone whose comprehension had reached the 12th level of the universe Tongtian Bridge, they were still little more than obstacles. At the peak, clouds coiled like restless beasts. Wine sloshed from a large barrel as the ape-man laughed, and the ox-headed man pushed himself upright. The snake woman's eyes gleamed with a hint of gold. When Yang Wu reached the summit, 3 blurred corpses enshrouded in mist dissolved into a top-tier blind box at his feet. He opened it, then watched as the injuries on the 3 bodies healed instantly. The ox-headed man, snake woman, and ape-man rose fully restored. "Congratulations, Yang Wu," they said in unison. "Congratulations on passing the cosmic-level origin Tongtian Mountain." The cosmic-level origin Tongtian Mountain was a benchmark for generations of geniuses. To conquer it was to place oneself among the strongest talents in history. "Why did my illusions have no effect on you?" the snake woman asked, curiosity and amusement in her voice. She was an illusionist by specialty. Against a mind that could be unsettled, her power could change the course of a duel. "Probably because your illusions aren't strong enough," Yang Wu replied with a small smile. His extraordinary mindset naturally suppressed illusionary techniques, and his will and consciousness were not so weak as to be shaken at the first touch. He frowned for a moment at the reward notification. "Passing the cosmic-level origin Tongtian Mountain only gives 100 million points, same as Primordial Chaos City Lord awarded me at the start." Points had been useful before he acquired the complete chaos diagram, but since then their value had dwindled for him. He had no ravenous, point-devouring beast like the golden horned beast to feed. He didn't need to worry over a world tree clone, and the pitfalls of the Nine Nether Sea were a separate headache altogether. From the peak, Yangwu watched the boundless expanse and the other two origin Tongchan mountains rising in the distance. Word of his success did not stay on the mountain. High-level figures across the human race received the news that Yangwu had cleared the cosmic-level origin Tongchan mountain, and it spread like a storm. On Thunder Island in the virtual universe, the corporation's executives were abuzz. A man in sinister green battle armor sat off to one side, sipping wine and praising Yangwu. A bald man in a silver robe, etched with green sigils, nodded in agreement. This Yangwu truly looks like the disciple favored by primordial Chaos City Lord. His potential is astonishing, the green-armored man said. I wonder if he'll go on to conquer the Territory Lord and World Lord origin Tongqian Mountains, the bald man murmured. After only decades of cultivation to reach the cosmic level, the other two mountains should not be a huge problem, another voice suggested. At that moment, Guardian Ba Fen checked his mail. He opened a message, and his expression changed to one of complete astonishment. He could hardly believe what he read. What? Someone actually passed the cosmic-level Yuanxi Tongqian Mountain? Oh, it's Yangwu. No wonder. Guardian Bafin closed the message and felt a hollow kind of boredom. When Yangwu first arrived in Primordial Chaos City, he had shocked everyone by clearing the 7th level of the Heavenly Bridge. 30 years later, he had reached the 12th level. By now, Bafin was used to being shocked by Yangwu. The latest news no longer stunned him so much as it exhausted him. The Universe Lords at the highest levels of the Virtual Universe Corporation always learned of feats like this first. Bafin had assumed Yangwu's rapid progress owed to his World Tree clone, but clearly Yangwu's talents extended beyond that. If a cultivator could pass the 12th level of the Heavenly Bridge, the first 9 islands of the Illusion Sea should pose little difficulty. Still, passing the cosmic level Yuanxi Tongqian Mountain required more than mere law comprehension. The Yuanxi Tongqian Mountain did not resemble the Heavenly Bridge, where a challenger faced a single chosen opponent. The Yuanxi tests a fighter against 3 opponents in succession, a martial artist, a controller, and an illusionist, and the trial examined far more than understanding of the laws. It measured the combination of combat secret methods and body-amplifying techniques, the strength of soul, will, and consciousness, and a dozen other factors. Being proficient in law comprehension was only one necessary condition. It did not guarantee victory. Bolin? Guardian Baffin's expression shifted when the white-clad figure reappeared. You're back again? He knew the announcement about Yangwu had put enormous pressure on Bolin. A cold light flashed in the death god's eyes. I want to challenge the 6th level, Bolin said. Bafin studied him. Your space comprehension is probably around the 7th level, but your time origin law lags far behind. How long has it been since you passed the 5th level of time? Don't try the 6th until your time law reaches at least the 5th. Bolin's face tightened. He thought of Yangwu's string of accomplishments and answered solemnly, I want to try again, to prove whether I was truly wrong. If you've made up your mind, go ahead. There's nobody from Earth on the Universe Tongtian Bridge right now. Bafin smiled and stepped aside. Bolin, the death god in white, shot toward the Universe Tongtian Bridge. On the 6th level, a guardian in blue, masked and bearing a blood-red sword, stood waiting. Young man, the guardian warned, the Universe Chaos Tablet is the most profound and difficult of the 52 Chaos Tablets. It tests time origin and space origin laws together. Your space feats are extraordinary. At the level of a top genius in the primitive mystical region, you could challenge the 7th level, but your time comprehension sits only at the 3rd level. That places your time talent at best among the top geniuses of the highest beginning mythical region. Your time law is too weak. Train it and come back when it improves. Bolin's features hardened. He drew the blood-red sword slowly, then attacked. The Guardian's voice faded as Bolin unleashed both space and time origin laws at once. Illusory doubles swarmed, tens of thousands of Bolins appearing in an instant, but the Guardian's strike cut through them all. In a flash, his head was pierced by a single, lethal blow. Failure. Bolin had failed the 6th level. He did not rage. The defeat brought a quiet, painful clarity. Afterward, Bolin reflected and made a decision. He would specialize in the space origin law. The illusion sea, by contrast, tested will and consciousness rather than raw martial power. Core members of the Virtual Universe Corporation's 4 secret realms were eligible to enter it. Challengers dove deeper and deeper from the outer islands into the illusion sea, island after island. The pressure of the so-called illusion will increase the closer one approached the inner reaches. The scoring system resembled the Heavenly Bridge. There were 21 islands. Clearing the first island earned 100 points, the second 200, the third 400, and so on. The deepest, 21st island demanded the will of a universe exalt, yet the illusion sea offered far fewer total points than the universe Tongtian Bridge, at most just over 200 million points. Yang Wu felt confident. Since obtaining Hong's extraordinary mindset and undergoing his transformation, his will and consciousness were perhaps his strongest assets. Beyond talent, comprehension, hard work, and external resources like secret methods, a cultivator needed something even more vital, a strong heart. Yang Wu resolved to keep a reverent, fearless heart through the trials ahead. Any obstacle on his path would be a joke to his resolve. Babada, enter the illusion sea divine plane, he commanded mentally. In an instant, Babada opened the plane and Yang Wu appeared within it. The Black Sea roared, waves towering in dozens of meters as they smashed against craggy cliffs. Yang Wu stood on a precipice, staring out at the endless, storm-tossed illusion sea. His eyes went cold. He took a step and with a boom, transformed into a streak of light that shot toward the first island. This was the testing ground for soul will. Among the 4 people from Earth, Yang Wu's influence even made the current Luo Feng place more value on cultivating the mind. In the original timeline, Hong should have still lingered in a state of empty boundlessness, not yet truly reaching the supreme realm of a mind that embraces all things. Yet Yang Wu had already attained a mind encompassing everything and the universe, a state that let him withstand any setback and press forward no matter the adversity. Under Zhuo Shang's secret method, those who reached this realm in China's history were called sages. Even across the universe, Yang Wu could be said to have reached the pinnacle of mental cultivation. Luo Feng's mind had split into 2 extremes, mind like a mirror and mind like a blade. The mirror mind reflected everything calmly and without bias. The blade mind cut decisively through any obstacle, never retreating. Thunder God's state fell somewhere between the 2, a unity with nature, an innocent heart, a balance of yin and yang, strength and flexibility, a blending of the mirror and the blade. If pushed to its limit, Thunder God's state of mind could probably reach the 14th or 15th layer of the illusion sea. These 3 paths represent 3 realms of mental cultivation. Although they look like levels, each path, when taken to its extreme, becomes extraordinary. It's not easy to rank them. What matters is the internal path one follows and how long it takes to reach the end. Mental techniques also have an amplifying effect. With equal will, a mind like Thunder God's, after comprehending the union of yin and yang and an innocent heart, could surge 10 or 100 times stronger when resisting pressure, illusion, or soul attacks. If someone like Hong attained a state of mind encompassing everything, their resistance might increase 100-fold, 1,000-fold, or even more. For the purposes of the illusion sea, Yang Wu's current mental state was simply more suited to this challenge. No matter how strong the attack, his boundless mind made him difficult to crush. You think an illusion of this level can affect me? Yang Wu's consciousness thundered. Break! 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 His shout reverberated through heaven and earth. The fabricated world within the illusion trembled and shattered. The illusion collapsed, revealing the true scene of the island in the illusion sea. The island was nothing but white sand, dotted with a few trees and flowers, quiet and beautiful. Yang Wu stood on the sand, and beyond the nearby sea, a pale shape gradually emerged from the darkness, the next island of the illusion sea. Only by shattering one island's illusion would the next, more difficult island reveal itself. Everything's just passing clouds, perhaps merely nourishment on my way to the peak. Yang Wu shot into the sky like a streak of light and flew straight toward the 9th island. He had already passed 8 islands easily. Their illusions had not shaken his will. Then another illusion descended, trying a different tack. Nine-Sword Exalt appeared in the air, sighing as he addressed Yang Wu. Yang Wu, your teacher, the primordial Chaos City Lord, has fallen in the Universe Sea. Yang Wu froze for a moment, bewildered. He had a dozen immediate objections. Didn't the City Lord have avatars? He was cunning. How could he die? He hadn't died in the original account, had he? But he dismissed them all with a roar of will. Is this all a World Lord Peak illusion can do? Break. The Ninth Island's illusion exploded beneath his fury. At the deepest reaches of the illusion sea, on the edge of the 21st island, an old man in golden yellow robes and black scales sat cross-legged. He was the steward of the entire illusion sea, a position akin to Ba-Fen of the Heavenly Bridge. The old man's scale-covered face opened, and his ancient eyes widened when he saw Yang Wu. He murmured. A little fellow at universe rank level 9 passing the Ninth Island so easily, that's hard to believe. Many World Lord Peak experts wouldn't manage this. His soul consciousness can't match a World Lord's, so how terrifying must his will be? Disbelief and a faint excitement colored his voice. Yang Wu's startling performance did not go unnoticed. The steward quickly uploaded the information to the higher management of the Virtual Universe Corporation. The executives, already anxious to see whether Yang Wu could clear the ninth layer and become the primordial Chaos City Lord's disciple, were stunned. Having easily passed the ninth island, Yang Wu's appointment as the City Lord's direct disciple now seemed almost certain. In the virtual universe, in the Grand Palace on Thunder Island, primordial Chaos City Lord watched the floating light screen flicker and then closed it with a smile. "It seems I truly underestimated him," he said softly. "This disciple I've taken is no less than KD." He leaned back, thoughtful. His will, his life gene level, and his comprehension of the laws all far surpass his peers. His future will not be small. If KD were still here, it's a pity. KD doesn't compare to Yang Wu. He shook his head. Yang Wu is possibly the strongest genius of the human race. Only my teacher, Origin Ancestor, might surpass him. Primordial Chaos City Lord's gaze softened as he thought of Yang Wu. Compared with the City Lord's long life and supreme strength, Yang Wu was young and weak, but his talent was extraordinary, beyond what the City Lord once had at the same rank. The City Lord thought of Luo Feng. When Luo Feng had been a domain lord, he had been hailed as a genius who appeared once every 10 million eras. As Luo Feng grew stronger, his talent had accelerated. Yet even at his peak in the original story, Luo Feng had not matched Origin Ancestor. From these comparisons, Primordial Chaos City Lord reflected on how formidable Origin Ancestor's talent truly was. If a genius who appears once every 10 million eras is labeled platinum in talent, then the caliber of those in Primordial Chaos City, those likely to become true gods, were at the diamond threshold. Purple Moon and the Eastern Emperor, who became void true gods, were probably at master level. Origin Ancestor, however, occupied a grandmaster tier, far surpassing the rest. Primordial Chaos City, Lord's expression was heavy with feeling as he looked toward Yang Wu's path ahead. If Yang Wu continued to grow, perhaps the future of the human race would one day rest on his shoulders. P.S. Bonus chapter for 10,000 rewards. When it came to raw talent, platinum level was far from enough. Let me see his full profile. Yang Wu? The Illusion Sea Guardian smiled as he studied the data. He passed the 12th level of the Universe Tongqian Bridge and cleared the Universe rank Original Tongqian Mountain. No wonder he's the registered disciple of the Primordial Chaos City Lord. But even if the Primordial Chaos City Lord is a brilliant teacher, when it comes to consciousness and will, you can only rely on yourself. Those can't be taught. Forget that for now. I want to see how far this kid can go on the islands. If he reaches the 15th island, that would be impressive. Many Undying can't get past it. The black-scaled elder watched the floating 3D projection in the void, recording and observing Yang Wu's entire challenge of the Illusion Sea. As soon as Yang Wu stepped onto the white sand of the 10th island, a crushing illusion descended, an incomparably oppressive force that slammed into his soul. It felt like the weight of a world crushing down. This was a pure contest of consciousness. Even the released consciousness of many peak world lords might reel and go fuzzy under such a blow. If one became dazed inside an illusion, defeat could come without even realizing it. The assault struck Yang Wu hard. For a moment his awareness nearly gave way. Then he roared inward, "My heart is boundless. Condense." His scattered consciousness snapped together like soldiers reassembling under a steady general. Will was the commander, consciousness the troops. The power of that consciousness depended on soul strength and the breadth of the brain domain. A world lord's released consciousness could easily overwhelm planetary and astral beings, because even with an ordinary will, the sheer strength of their consciousness was vast. Now, Yang Wu was being attacked by an undying level consciousness. Fortunately, his infinite heart was like having endless soldiers. Even an average commander would have difficulty failing with such resources, much less Yang Wu. If his mental cultivation hadn't reached the third level, the level that could encompass everything, this attack might have crushed his will. This 10th island is comparable to an ordinary undying's consciousness. The Illusion Sea Guardian had commented, "There's a qualitative gap here. It's not easy to pass." What? He passed the 10th island? The black-scaled elder's eyes widened in disbelief. How is that possible? How did he withstand it so easily? The Illusion Sea's 21 islands mirrored the 21 levels of the Heavenly Bridge, but the sea tested both will and consciousness. His consciousness in the illusion is at most comparable to a world lord's, the Guardian observed. So he's at a disadvantage there, yet his will compensates for that shortfall, dramatically so. His will is so firm, so unshakable, stronger than many peak undying experts. How long has it been since I've seen a genius with such terrifying resolve? All entrants to the Virtual Universe Corporation's core were talented. They cultivated with excellent resources. Under those conditions, a supreme genius with unimaginable will faced only two fates, ruin or ascension to the top. A person with that kind of will, in countless life or death trials, will survive if there's even the slightest hope, the elder muttered. Only a truly hopeless, inescapable situation could stop him. He straightened. I must report this to the higher-ups. The Virtual Universe Corporation prized such geniuses. The Heavenly Bridge, Illusion Sea, and Immortal Altar existed to find the best among the best. Yang Wu moved on. He passed the 11th island, then the 12th, the 15th island, the black-scaled elder said, anxiety flashing across his face. The 15th is extraordinary. Very few undying can pass it. This Yang Wu, a universe-ranked 9th stage genius, he's unlikely to get past this. It should be impossible. On the 15th island, everything was dazzling white. The light was so blinding Yang Wu could barely open his eyes. The scene shifted unpredictably, and the moment his consciousness wavered, an illusion invaded. It struck at his memories. Luo Feng is dead, someone shouted. Rong Jun, panic in his voice. The illusion tried to merge with Yang Wu's memories to make itself real. Yang Wu's mind recoiled. What? Luo Feng dead? He felt the falsehood like a stab. Anyone could die, he might even fall in the future, but Luo Feng could not be dead. This illusion was mocking him. Boom, he saw through it. A massive crack split the illusory world. The simulation collapsed and the 15th island's true scene reassembled. In the distance, a patch of white in the Black Sea marked the 16th island. Yang Wu flew onto it. The illusion on the 16th unfolded into something else, a solemn assembly of the human race's highest echelon. In the infinite darkness, a few stars glittered. A simple temple floated in midair. Before the temple, on an open stone platform, a long stone table sat beneath the stars. Only one main chair occupied the center seat. Others lined the sides, and majestic figures already took their places. Primordial chaos, Great Axe founder said. You proposed this giant axe meeting. Explain to us why. All Yang Wu could do was watch. Primordial Chaos City Lord smiled faintly. You should have all heard of Yang Wu. During the Talent War, he cleared 7 trial towers himself. Everyone must have heard about Yang Wu, the Primordial Chaos City Lord said with a wry smile. During the Talent War, he cleared 7 trial towers in a single go. At that time, his potential was obvious. That's why the 5 of us Universe Lords personally went to the Black Dragon Mountain starfield. We only understood once we saw him. Yang Wu's potential far exceeded our expectations. His world tree clone has a life gene level of 9,000 times. What? A world tree clone? 9,000 times? Apart from those Universe Lords off adventuring in the Universe Sea, All the others had heard the rumors. Primordial chaos, the five of us witnessed it ourselves. At the very least, he has the makings of an exalt, Virtual Gold Lord said with a laugh. Your Virtual Universe Corporation is lucky, Huangjian Universe Lord added with a smile. The talent war happened during your turn, and you discovered a super genius like Yang Wu. But he's still only universe rank. Is that enough to justify calling such a grand summit? Someone grumbled. Every time the kind of genius that appears once every 10 million eras shows up, the monster race moves. Primordial chaos is just preparing in advance, another said. Yet the monster race has never struck at a universe exalt. Why raise such an alarm and gather so many universe lords? Primordial chaos wouldn't make a fuss without reason. Since it summoned us, something serious must be going on. Let's hear him out. It's like this, Primordial Chaos City Lord went on, smiling faintly. Just now Yang Wu cleared the 12th level of the Universe Tongtian Bridge. Level 12? That's incredible, well beyond the standard for the strongest geniuses who appear once every 10 million eras. He already had the potential, now he's showing it. Yang Wu's terrifying rate of progress can be explained by his World Tree clone. It's probably normal for it to be so extreme, or only slightly abnormal. He also cleared the universe rank, cosmic level original Tongtian Mountain, Primordial Chaos said with a laugh. The original Tongtian Mountain tests in many ways. His talents are broad. I thought the World Tree clone only gave him exceptional potential, but his growth seems comprehensive. At that, the Universe Lords began to take Yang Wu more seriously. Another point, as you know, Yang Wu's true body only had a 30 times life gene level, Primordial Chaos City Lord said, his tone turning solemn. But as soon as he stepped into Universe rank, it jumped to 90. Yang Wu's base life gene level at Universe rank had been 30 times. With the blessing of the first stage of the Nine Calamities secret manual, it had leapt to 90. Murmurs rippled through the hall. 30 to 90. That's terrifying. So his World Tree clone has huge potential, and his true body's talent is good too. If the World Tree clone stays in the divine plane, a powerful true body would be a real fighting force. I wonder, can his life gene level keep increasing? Keep increasing? That should be impossible. When we first became Universe Lords, our life gene levels were only 100 times. Could Yang Wu surpass the 100 times limit before becoming a Universe Lord? They were all Universe Lords with deep insight, Flang. They knew that for most life forms, humans, the monster race, the insect race, starry sky beasts, the demonic killer race, no matter the method, before reaching Universe Lord status, their life gene level usually topped out around 100 times. Only exceptionally special life forms, or those whose life gene base was already extremely high, could otherwise break that cap. Most top universe overlords had only reached that step. Crossing it was normally only possible after ascending to Universe Lord. Let's not jump to conclusions, Primordial Chaos City Lord said, shaking his head. I don't know whether Yang Wu can break that limit, but there's more. He just cleared the 15th level of the Illusion Sea. What? His consciousness was far above the baseline for the 15th level. How could a universe rank clear it? An unprecedented record. How is this possible? What kind of monster is this? We must handle this carefully. We absolutely cannot let the monster race learn about Yang Wu's true strength. Yes, Yang Wu's willpower at universe rank is terrifying. The achievements of his World Tree clone will surely exceed even the World Tree in the 9 Nether Secret Realm. Becoming a Universe Lord won't be difficult for him. Why don't we go see for ourselves? Let's go. For a genius like this, I have to see what's so extraordinary. I'll go too. The giant axe meeting broke up in a rush, driven by astonishment and curiosity over Yang Wu's feats. Illusion Sea, Divine Plane. Yang Wu passed the 16th island with ease. The 17th island passed. On the 18th island, he met some difficulty, but still cleared it. Then came the 19th. The will pressure is too strong. The consciousness assault is terrifying. Probably at the Fenghuang limit, the Guardian exclaimed. The consciousness and will pressure that suffused the entire 19th island was brutal, comparable to a supreme entity among the undying champion ranks. Yang Wu's mental and spiritual defenses trembled. He clenched his fists so hard his knuckles whitened. Veins stood out on his forehead. He's still holding on. This breaks all previous records, the Illusion Sea Guardian declared, face grave. The black-scaled elder, who'd watched over the Illusion Sea for countless years, had seen many geniuses and veterans attempt its trials. For a universe rank to reach the 19th island was unheard of. Not even many world lords, let alone a young universe-rank prodigy like Yang Wu, could withstand such pressure. Champion-level undying powerhouses brought here would have their souls shattered and fall unconscious under this assault. In reality, their souls might be annihilated. Logically, for a weakling at Universe 9th rank, even the most talented among countless eras, the limits of soul, consciousness, and will should still apply, the elder muttered. No matter how gifted, there's a threshold. How is this possible? The Illusion Sea was punishing, but it was also a forge. Each time Yang Wu endured trials that vastly exceeded his prior limits while maintaining a strong state of mind, his willpower transformed explosively, growing at an exponential rate. Inside the 19th island, he still stood firm. His body and soul shook as if they would collapse at any second, but he held on. In his previous life, Yang Wu had been mediocre. He'd accepted that some things couldn't be changed. But now, after stepping into the world of devouring the heavens, he'd chosen a single path and would pursue it at all costs. No one could stop him. When his consciousness and will had nearly collapsed, they immediately recondensed. Clarity flooded back. Under the crushing pressure of the Illusion Sea, his main body soul, already enhanced by the World Tree clone, underwent another dramatic transformation. Boom! The shroud of illusion and confusion that had enveloped him shattered with a roar. Yang Wu had passed the 19th level. The Illusion Sea actually tempered my soul, my consciousness, and my will, he thought. How the virtual universe had created such a place was beyond him. Virtual or not, the Illusion Sea could still force rapid, fundamental change. He fixed his gaze on the 20th island and stepped forward. "He's insane," murmured some. "He'll be ripped apart the moment he steps in. His will is at king-level invincible." On the 20th Illusion Sea, Yang Wu clung on. Every instant was an agony of the mind, tests of consciousness and will beyond imagination. But once he endured them, each trial became nourishment, raw growth for his soul, his consciousness, and his determination. Time crawled by, and he emerged triumphant. The 20th level fell behind him. He rested only briefly before moving on to the 21st. Before his extraordinary mindset transformed, Yang Wu had no confidence that he could withstand the 21st. But now his mindset had truly advanced to the 3rd stage, and the Illusion Sea's forging had strengthened him immeasurably. The 21st level was brutal, but for the first time he felt absolute certainty that he could pass it. An unimaginably powerful consciousness and will descended, levels far beyond anything he'd seen from Nine Sword Exalt. Then again, that was to be expected. A Universe Exalt could naturally control such magnitudes of will. If they could not even the geniuses of the Talent War, or even a king-level Undying, would survive. Then, one after another, Universe Lords bearing intolerable auras streamed down over the Illusion Sea Divine Plane. The Guardian of the Illusion Sea Divine Plane stiffened, shock crossing his face. "No word of this is to spread," the Guardian commanded, his voice cold enough to make the air tremble. "News that Yang Wu has passed 20 islands, or that he may soon conquer the 21st, must be suppressed." When Yang Wu first revealed his World Tree clone, with a life gene level multiplied 9,000-fold, the Universe Lords had not shown much interest. After all, he would linger in Primordial Chaos City or the 4 secret realms for a long time. He was safe enough. Now, however, everything looked different. Yang Wu's innate talent had always been monstrous. Now he displayed extraordinary will as well. In the Universe Lord's eyes, his value had escalated beyond that of a mere Universe Lord. His potential could even shape the future of the human race. Rong Jun, the great axe founder, hair in disarray, ran a hand through his messy locks as he looked around at the other Universe Lords. "This is real," he said. "He can pass the 21st. The strength of will is separate from brute power, but his consciousness, it shouldn't be anywhere near an Exalt's. How did he withstand a Universe Exalt's consciousness? Nobody here knows." For a moment, the Universe Lords' minds went blank. Then a different feeling bloomed, exhilaration. Unexpected as it was, this was good news. Yang Wu's potential was far beyond their previous estimates. Primordial Chaos City Lord had not been exaggerating. Calling a supreme meeting to discuss Yangwu was not an overreaction. The question that followed was thorny. How should Yangwu be cultivated? But another problem loomed larger. Have you noticed? Rongjun continued. This isn't just about Yangwu. Luo Feng, also from Earth, spent only a few decades and already passed the 7th level of the Heavenly Bridge. He's not far behind Yangwu. You mean, one Universe Lord said, brow furrowing, Earth itself may be peculiar. I've observed Luo Feng. His will isn't bad either. He could probably pass to the 9th level of the Illusion Sea. If Earth produces people like this, it concerns the future of the human race as a whole. We must act with care, another agreed. If Yangwu doesn't fall, he'll reach our level, and he might even surpass us. Discussion spread quickly. When Luo Feng had risen before, his monstrous performance hadn't yet caught the attention of the Universe Lords. But Yangwu's breakout had forced connections to be made, and it made Earth look far more important than they had realized. Only one problem remained. Even if they now understood Earth's value, could they control its fate? Rongjun's expression darkened. The real danger is the alien races, he said. If we see the value of Yangwu and Luo Feng, don't think the aliens are blind. They may be a bit slower, but they'll come around. We must prepare. He paused, then added, at minimum, we should dispatch 3 Universe Lords, 2 to protect Yangwu and Luo Feng, and 1 to be permanently stationed on Earth. The suggestion stunned the assembly. Almost every Universe Lord was off adventuring in the Universe Sea. Who knew how many future opportunities the human race would lose if 3 returned to remain behind? A Universe Lord's absence could shift the balance of countless ventures. To lose 3 would be to sacrifice a great many potential gains. Still, Rongjun's face was grave. And there's no need to hide Darkness Lord anymore, he said. His strength is enormous. Even if he's revealed, his life won't be at risk, and his presence will deter the alien powers. At the mention of Darkness Lord, other Universe Lords glanced at one another. They had not expected Rongjun to take this matter so seriously. Darkness Lord, previously perceived as a low-key Universe Lord within the Virtual Universe Corporation, was actually terrifyingly strong, rivaling even Primordial Chaos City Lord. His disciples had become Universe Lords, and in the Hongmeng, the affiliated races had no record of him. Other peak powers knew nothing of this Universe Lord. His name alone changed the calculus. The room fell into heavy, muttered agreement. The stakes had shifted. Earth was no longer a distant backwater. It was a center of possibility that could not be ignored, and the human race and its rising prodigies now needed guardians. Letting such a super existence return to the primordial universe and risk exposing his presence made all the Universe Lords look grave. Great Axe, my junior brother the Darkness Lord, this is a trump card, Primordial Chaos City Lord said at last. If it's exposed, it'll be a real loss. Most ordinary Universe Lords could already guard Yangwu, Luo Feng, and Earth well enough. The virtual universe itself was powerful, and any other Universe Lord descending into human territory would almost certainly be detected. No matter how reckless the insect, monster, or automaton races were, sending a Universe Lord in undercover would be suicidal. If they were discovered or annihilated, the blow would be unbearable. Besides, Huangjian Universe Lord continued, looking at the others, the race has already sacrificed a great deal, and everyone knows now how extraordinary Earth is. What is Yangwu and Luo Feng's current strength? If they're occupying Earth, what's the point? This concerns the whole race. For the race's sake, we should insist that Luo Feng hand over ownership of Earth. Compensate them, of course. A high-level true treasure might do. If not, give more. And the main question is, which power should officially hold ownership? Huangjian's tone grew sharp. Is it too early to decide? Yangwu and Luo Feng have both climbed far and fast. Their talent is rare. Primordial Chaos City Lord frowned. They are super geniuses the human race sees perhaps once in hundreds of millions of years. Their pride will be hard to contend with. They're different from Yandi in temperament, too, but even so, it won't take much to cause resentment. Yangwu and Luo Feng are so talented. Are we sure we want to strip them of Earth? Logically, if we let them develop Earth, it won't be used as effectively as if we did. It would be wasted. Even if we resent it, it's their right. We shouldn't interfere too rashly. It's their waste to make. Persuading them will be crucial. From the race's perspective, it'd be best for Primordial Chaos City Lord to step forward, appeal to them emotionally, and reason with them. The Universe Lords argued animatedly, but the conversation always circled back to interest. Individual interest, factional interest, the race's interest. Supporting a race was costly and required careful, long-term thinking. Everyone expected Primordial Chaos City Lord to take the lead, though he remained silent. Eventually, a tentative consensus formed. Earth should be reclaimed for the race, but without escalating conflict, and Yang Wu and Luo Feng should be place-hated. Primordial Chaos City Lord? Great Axe Founder turned his attention to him. What do you think? There's not much more to say. Primordial Chaos City Lord sighed. If everyone's near unanimous, I'll take the race's perspective into account. Earth must be taken back, he said slowly, but we must avoid a rupture. We lost Yan Di once. We cannot let Yang Wu and Luo Feng go. Many nodded. The stronger someone became, the more likely they were to leave their original allegiance if sufficiently angered. Once pride and will hardened, departures were common. Then it's settled. Primordial Chaos City Lord, handle it, Great Axe Founder said with a smile. You trained them. If you speak, they'll resist the least. They all laughed lightly. This might trouble you, Primordial Chaos City Lord. But Great Axe Founder's expression shifted mid-laughter. The Milky Way hung before him, visible to the eye, yet inexplicably he could not determine its primordial universe or dark universe coordinates. He frowned. What kind of secret method is this? Why can't I locate the Milky Way? He muttered. If he wanted to enter, he could only fly in, slowly. Even so, a universe strongest moving at 10,000 times light speed was nothing. He could still make the trip. He sped toward the Milky Way and continued on toward Earth. When he drew within 1,000 light-years of Earth, something stopped him. Earth was plainly ahead, but he could not advance a single step. No matter how hard he pushed, he could only stare at it, pinned in place. This secret method covering the Milky Way and Earth is terrifying. Great Axe Founder's eyes widened. He swallowed hard, his face paled. He thought of the Origin Ancestors' secret methods, the virtual universe, the like of which could make him feel utterly powerless. Only a method at that level could inspire such dread. Could Earth be related to an existence of the Origin Ancestors' caliber? Truly terrifying, he whispered. Earth really does hide something enormous. He realized the being capable of casting such a secret method was not one the human race's universe lords could risk provoking. Yang Wu would never have guessed that an upgraded secret method would push Great Axe Founder's imagination so far. If Yang Wu had known, he might have merely smiled. The universe lords were suspicious by nature. A single detail could set them reeling. Still, the core problem at least had been clarified. Back in the virtual universe, eyes turned to him. What happened? Someone asked. Did something occur? Others echoed, watching Great Axe Founder closely. The issue of Earth's ownership no longer needs debating, Great Axe Founder said, his face grave. It's meaningless. He went on, voice lower. Ever since I first noticed Yang Wu's talent at that highest meeting, curiosity made me investigate. I set off for where Earth lies, and do you know how special Earth truly is? Covering the entire Earth. No, covering the entire Milky Way galaxy. That is a powerful secret method unleashed by an astonishing existence. This secret method is deceptively simple. It merely conceals the coordinates of the dark universe. Just to get into the Milky Way, without the power of a universe lord, one might never even find its true location. Any ordinary undying could conceal dark universe coordinates, but to hide them so thoroughly that even a universe exalt cannot detect them, that's terrifying. And as for Earth, under that secret method, I at least cannot enter. A simple secret method, and yet he has used it to such an extent. Clearly this person is not beneath me. Primordial Chaos City Lord's expression shifted dramatically. As a disciple of the Origin Ancestor, he knew just how fearsome that ancestor truly was. Now that Earth was occupied by such a terrifying existence, there was nothing they could do. Still, Yang Wu, Luo Feng, and others could come and go from Earth, which meant the existence occupying it did not intend to sever Earth from the rest of humanity. Earth still belonged to humankind. Only Earthlings could cultivate and use it. There's no point discussing Earth further. If such a being can place a secret method over Earth, its value rivals that of a supreme treasure. We all know that, but there's nothing to be done. Then the matter of Earth ends here. Great Axe Founder's gaze swept the room, and the assembled Universe Lords fell silent. Virtual Universe, Thunder Island. At the highest peak, Primordial Chaos City Lord sat inside a magnificent palace swathed in chaotic currents. "You're about to head to the primitive mystical region now," he said. "Yes, teacher," Yang Wu answered quickly. The chaotic currents dispersed, and Primordial Chaos City Lord, clad simply, stepped out and looked calmly at his youngest disciple. He felt a measure of helplessness. Earth had been special, and they had no foothold there. "You've already passed Heavenly Bridge 12 and the cosmic level original Tongqian Mountain. Staying at universe rank any longer holds little meaning. And you have too many secrets. I still don't understand why your clone's realm can surpass your true body, but that's not the main issue. Speaking of clones, how many can you nurture at most?" Primordial Chaos City Lord asked, his voice grave. "3, I think." Yang Wu nodded. The talent secret method for clones could perhaps be upgraded with a talent upgrade card, but Yang Wu didn't intend to spend cards on that. When he became a true god, all clones would have to merge back into one, and then the number would be meaningless. Besides, the 9 Nether Sea he planned already showed promise. A 9 Nether Master clone with almost endless divine power made additional clones unnecessary. The Boundless Dark Sea could ensure any of his clones could revive after death, even the massive World Tree clone. "Your cloning ability is far more miraculous than mine," Primordial Chaos City Lord said with a small smile. "Back then, I couldn't even nurture a World Tree clone. My true body only supported 3 divine bodies." He had 3 powerful clones. The one before Yang Wu was only one of them. The universe, however, balanced such gifts. The talent secret method for clones still had limits. Primordial Chaos City Lord believed that a life capable of nurturing clones could at most produce clones 10 or 100 times stronger than the true body. To nurture life forms that truly defied the heavens was logically unlikely. So he was puzzled why Yang Wu, only astral rank at the time with a life gene level of just 30 times, could nurture a World Tree clone with a life gene level of 9,000 times. The only explanation Yang Wu had was a cheat device, a kind of magical keyboard, that let him pull off the impossible. That was why he could promise to nurture a 9 Nether Master clone. Choosing the right clone is very important. Have you decided? Primordial Chaos City Lord asked. I have a general idea. Yang Wu nodded. Under normal circumstances, even Yang Wu now would not be able to successfully nurture a World Tree clone, but with his cheat device and careful planning, he could manage the 9 Nether Master clone he intended. Understand this, the stronger the bloodline or the life of the clone you nurture, the harder it will be for your true body to break through to undying in the future. For every gain there is a loss, that is the balance of the universe. Be mentally prepared. I understand. Yang Wu acknowledged it. The World Lord realm was special. In comprehension, a World Lord even surpassed an undying, and Yang Wu had planned to pour his comprehension into reaching Universe Lord level while still at World Lord. If his comprehension could match and exalt, and yet he still could not become an undying, then he would have exhausted his options. But he believed there were limits, and with sufficient law comprehension, the conditions to become an undying could be met. As for your true body, break through to Territory Lord rank as soon as possible. Primordial Chaos City Lord smiled. I want to see if your life gene level can shatter the universe's 100 times limit and evolve again once you reach Territory Lord. Universe rank is just a small matter. Territory Lord and World Lord are where real trials and growth begin. By the way, his voice grew calm. Before you become a Territory Lord and leave the primitive mystical region to be dispatched to a universe nation, come to my Primordial Chaos City. Yes, Yang Wu agreed. He felt exposed about his life gene level, but Primordial Chaos City Lord already knew. Secrecy on that point was unrealistic. After you leave Primordial Chaos City, the Lord continued, if you run into difficulties in cultivation or other matters, you can come to me. But for small, mundane things, try to solve them yourself. Only when you face truly insurmountable problems should you seek me out. Understood? Understood. Yang Wu nodded. He had worried about Earth, but that was settled now. He felt confident and unstoppable in his growth. Primordial Chaos City Lord regarded him. Though Yang Wu still seemed young compared to him, a restrained, invincible aura lay beneath, starkly different from the Yang Wu who had first come to Primordial Chaos City 30 years ago. The youthful naivete was gone. What remained was a singular, unparalleled confidence.